Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of Generation of Wrestling Podcast. As always, it's yours truly, the 28-year-old piece of gold, the franchise, aka the showstopper, better known as the GOW's resident tribal chief. And with me, as always, I got my tag team partner, my brother, my family. He is the flyest in the room, Mr. 1, 2, 3. Pin that ass down, K Breezy, aka King Too Cold in the building. Was good, my guy.
Man, what it do, man? What is it? The big bad booty nephew.
The big bad
I'm
booty
like, all
nephew,
right,
man.
that let it be known he's Rick Steiner's kid. But yeah, man, it was good, man. Trying to working late, so I caught the very I've been pieces and part in NXT, caught up to the final match. But yeah, man, what's good?
I mean, nothing much, nothing much. I mean, we started off kind of hot, man. Uh, with match one of the night, which is a women's War Games ladder match, ladder advantage match for this weekend's War Games, and which we had Kaylee Ray versus Dakota Kai. Kaylee Ray ended up picking up the victory, but hey, so this match right here, man, this kind of gave me a little bit of the black and gold vibe. This was one of the best matches since they had this whole NXT 2.0 revamp, and it was cool, man, to see that it was a familiar face in Dakota Kai, being a part of that. Tuco, man, what did you think of this match between, NXT vet Dakota Kai and relative newcomer to NXT stateside? We know she done her thing in the UK, Kaylee Ray.
Well, it's nice to see Kaylee Ray. Nice to see Dakota Kai. Two people I definitely like when they get in the ring. It was a pretty good match. They definitely, brought it to it. They definitely brought a nice way to start the show. It did kind of have some of those old vibe feelings of the old black and gold brand, but Candice LeRae, she won. They got the woman advantage for their women's War Games match. Definitely looking forward to it as far as who's a part of it. But again, I well, I guess the story for this was better than Survivor Series. At least there's some continuity with some of the people, the way they put it together. But other than that, man, really good match. Good way to start the show.
All right, man. Next up, so we ended up getting a segment. We got a recap of Cameron Grimes and Duke Hudson, in which we were reminded that this weekend, if Cameron Grimes or Duke Hudson loses, they will be shaved. Tuco, me and you, we kind of as we get the old school versus the new school men's teams fighting to end the show, which of course you knew that was going to happen. Traditional Survivor Series
Carmelo
slash
Hayes.
NXT tactics.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. So we talked before the match, not before the match, before the show, excuse me. And we said, man, we ain't really feeling the whole shaved Cameron Grimes look, man. We used to seeing that burly, you know what I'm saying, that hip redneck, if you will. And Cameron Grimes, man, you know what I'm saying, they trying to inner city youth, my guy, man. I feel like I feel like we losing them, Tuco, we losing them.
We are
but
losing. We are losing. They
but
they they
speaking
shaved
of
him.
speaking of Cameron
I'm sorry.
Grimes, how they look? Oh no, no, no,
They
no.
they
Go ahead, go ahead.
they shaved my man, dude. Man, they cut his beard. Vince wants some more polished Cameron Grimes because he wants to bring him up to the roster. Man, that's what made Cameron Grimes different. He looked different. He didn't. Now he just looked like oh my god. Yeah. It just something about the way just looking at him in the ring. It just did not look and feel the same. Where was that straight to it just did that it just didn't hit with me, man.
My man, like, kiss my grits.
Right, like it was like the
Yeah.
way I don't know, man. I don't know if he maybe not like, I don't know. I feel like there's a part of him that just kind of don't like it. Maybe he's just kind of going through the motions with it, but that's just
But you gotta
me.
think about it.
I,
But you gotta think about it. But he said that last week. He said, his hair, that's the reason he grew his hair for so many years, man. To remind him, no matter how successful he got, to remember where he came from. That's why he never
yeah,
touched it.
and that's true, but at the same time, backstage, he could be ready to, he could be okay with cutting it,
Right, right.
but it's just that's a great story for the character, but as far as him in real life, he could probably be ready to get rid of the shit. But I mean, it is what it is. I'll still watch him. He's still Cameron Grimes. This is gonna take a minute to see this. this new look. This
Yeah.
it's not. I just don't feel he's going to be that Cameron Grimes we're used to. He's going to end up being something else, and that's what I don't want to see. I rather see him the way who he is, man. Who he is what makes him him, and I like that.
You know what? I missed the match. I know we said we're doing predictions. I forgot, but before we do that, I want to kind of reiterate what you said. This kind of reminds me a little less dramatic, but it reminds me of when JBL went from Bradshaw to the JBL gimmick. One week you seen JBL with the long black locks and he had the black goatee and he was this big badass alkalite. And then him and Farouk. He played my boy Farouk, aka Ron Simmons, send that boy packing, and then he come back as just like this Wall Street, New York City cowboy hat wearing tycoon. It's like, hold on, man, like it's the same guy, but it don't feel the same. Like I think more people gave a shit about APA Bradshaw than JBL, and like I said, a little less dramatic with Cameron Grimes, but that's kind of the vibe I get. I don't feel like I know it's the same person. It's not really that much of a gimmick change, but just the presentation of how he looks, man. It's like Mick Foley coming out with a baby face. It don't work, man.
Huh. You know what? I just thought of something, man. I could see them trying to. I could see the whole Ted DiBiase thing angle, and them
What are
trying to
you?
make him more of that type, but more of a heel type. You know, uh, not so much the country version, but kind of that JBL type. Like you talking about when JBL went from being an acolyte to being the corporate mongo, mogul that he was, and borderline, and border patroller. Can't
What up,
forget
Leo?
border because he can't never forget.
Man, that was oh my god, dude, that
Man.
would not get over in WWE right now.
But I think that the one thing for JBL that made him great as a heel, because no one cared that he was champion, no one cared that he was a guy that was in that position, but he played that he played that position well. When you look back at JBL as being that dude, you just, oh my God, you wanted to boo and you wanted to hate and you wanted to see him get his ass kicked and you wanted to see him lose. He was great at that. That was great. So with Cameron Grimes, he could be that. The thing is, he's not as imposing as Bradshaw. So it's like even if he does do that version, I don't know how long it will go. And plus, let's be honest, man, we're talking about Vince, and his patience, man. Do we have the patience to even wait that long for that guy to be
Right.
that development? I don't know. So we'll see. But that when you brought that up, that just kind of gave me that idea. They could go that way with him. I don't know if he'll go. They'll bring back the Ted DiBiase aspect, but just kind of just if they still play on the him having money aspect and just being more of a heel, I can see it going that kind of that avenue.
Tuco,
What's
going
up?
back to the first match of the night. Like I said, we had a women's war game advantage match with Kaylee Ray, Dakota Kai. So we're gonna do a prediction. Why not, man? Who do you have for the first match? I guess we got Raquel Gonzalez, Io Shirai, Cora Jade, and Kaylee Ray versus Toxic Attraction and Dakota Kai in a War Games match. Tuco, man, what are your spidey senses telling you?
My spidey senses are telling me that Team EO and Gonzalez and them are going to win. So I'm going with who's the team captain?
You got Raquel as the
Raquel.
team captain of one, and then you have Mandy as the team captain of the other.
I'm going with Big Mommy Cool Gonzalez's team.
So I think you and I, man, we might take a L on this one, but I agree. And the only reason I'm saying I agree, and I'm gonna pick the OGs over the new school, is it's simple, man. Toxic Attraction, they got all the titles. I don't feel like they need to have all the titles and they need to pick up the victory in this match. So for that alone, I
Yeah.
feel just in my mind, you don't need that. I think that's overkill. You know what I'm saying? The EO already ain't got shit. Dakota ain't got shit. I mean, excuse me, Kaylee Ray ain't got shit. Cora Jade ain't got shit. Raquel ain't got shit. So damn, they need something. They need something. And then you got two former champions over there as well. So three, if you think about it, actually Kaylee Ray. So yeah, man, you're not letting them go out like that.
Well, yeah. So yeah, because I mean, they could pull it off. I mean, but Raquel and them got the man advantage, but the woman advantage. But we've seen that play out good and bad. So
Right.
we'll see. But I feel like they'll pull it out.
All right, well, we just talked about this one, so let's get right into it. And I'll do you the honors this time, man. Cameron Grimes versus Duke Hudson in the hair on hair. Tuco, man, you talked before air. You just alluded to it not too long ago. I am going to say, even though I want Cameron Grimes to win, I give this one to the new school. Duke Hudson got this one.
Damn it. God damn it.
I
You know what?
know.
I'm
I
going Cameron,
know.
man. I don't want to bet against my dude. I'm going with
My
Grimes.
boy Tuco said to the
God damn it!
moon.
For real. Been riding with him all this time. I'm not gonna stop riding with him because it is. But there's a good chance he will lose this. You're taking Hudson, so all
And
right.
speaking of Grimes and Hudson, man. So after the Kaylee Ray versus Dakota Kai match, we get a recap with them. Then we get a segment with GYB, Jackie Time, Briggs, and Jensen. Didn't really amount to much. Then we get Grimes versus Andre Chase in the squash match, in which we had a terrible, terrible, terrible monologue by Duke Hudson. Lord Jesus. After this, man, we get a segment from Idris and Ofe. And then we will have the new school finding out who's going to face Johnny Gargano in the men's War Game ladder match, which ended up being the big bad booty nephew, Braun Breaker. And then we get another segment in which we will find out, man, the winner of Legado del Fantasma versus Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner will go on to face the NXT Tag Team Champions Imperium. And then we get a segment with MSK and the Shaman. And then we get that tag team match, man. We get Legado versus Kyle and Von Wagner. Man, look, O'Reilly and Wagner ended up picking up the victory. Too cold. It's going to be O'Reilly, Wagner versus Imperium. I believe it's going to be a good match, but let me ask you this. Do you think that was the right call, these two?
I mean, well, okay. First, you put them together as a team. Not really sure how that's going to work. Then out of nowhere, we get Von Wagner on SmackDown for 2 weeks. Not really sure.
Yeah. Right.
Now he's back, and they seem poised to put the titles on them. Question being, did they see something that they feel they're not ready for Von to go to the main roster yet? So this extra time that he desperately would need is necessary and staying in NXT, fine. But if Vince gonna do one of his wacky moves, then the wrong team won. But I'm gonna go and say that this is where they're gonna go, and he's gonna be there for a while, and he's gonna be champion, and I had no problem with who won. And plus, when you think of the dynamic, it's Imperium. With Imperium being the heels, you got to have a good face. For the championship, it's going to be takeover. It's going to be in the CWC. They're not really going anywhere. So you gotta have the good versus bad.
All right, man. So who you rocking with, man? What team you got coming out on top? I got Imperium retaining, but that's just me.
You got Imperium. I don't know, man. They just put the titles on Imperium, but the sad part is because this isn't the NXT we know. I can see Wagner and them winning these tag team championships. But I can also see Imperium retaining. This match, because it's so last minute put together, I'm gonna go with Wagner and O'Reilly. I'm gonna pull it off.
we going back with Riley, O'Reilly, and Wagner. O'Reilly got a chance to become a tag team champion once again. Cool Kyle with his cool ass. All right, man. So next up, we get a segment. We get Joe Gacy. He comes down to the ring with his all-inclusive inclusivity invitational, in which he says, "Hey, look, we done with the NXT Cruiserweight Championship division. We done with that, man. It's gender bias, it's weight bias, and man, look, we feel like anybody should have a chance to step into the ring and go ahead and fight for that championship. So too cold, man. So we got Gacy. He destroys the hell out the first dude, hit him with a mean ass, back spring elbow clothesline. He's about to fight the woman, some random woman, I should say. And then out comes Diamond Mine, and bro, we would then find out it will be Joe Gacy versus Roddy Strong for their NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Now, I know logic would have it. One, Joe Gacy is nowhere near cruiserweight weight. One. Two, Roddy Strong should win this because, he's the cruiserweight champion. But three, because Vince McMahon allegedly, reportedly, supposedly has such a big oversight on NXT now, I would not be surprised if Joe Gacy becomes the NXT Cruiserweight Champion. As much this is killing me. You went first last time.
You're killing me, man. Just because you're saying it, and it's like the reality is sinking in. So it's like, damn, dude. As you're saying it, it's like I'm getting more depressed and depressed. Like, dude, stop talking. Fuck.
I'm sorry, but we real talk for real fans. I gotta lay the facts out there. I can't CNN this. I can't.
Man.
I gotta tell the truth. I got to be local news with it. When you do national news, it's all about sensational. They want to sensationalize it, bro. All right, so I am going to say, yeah, that's right. Yeah, no agendas here. With your new mutated virus. All right, so
man, let's go. Who you got, man?
All right, man. So if Vince McMahon had one of his Skull and Bones meetings, I'm going to say that Joe Gacy is going to be your new NXT Cruiserweight champion, bro. I don't want it to happen, but the Illuminati blood is in the air.
I damn sure don't want it to happen, and I'm picking Strong just because I damn sure ain't picking Gacy.
Okay,
man.
wait. Hold on, wait. Hold on. Wait. Let me rewind. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe Gacy doesn't win the championship, but I do think he's going to win the match.
I'm more fine with that.
Okay.
But I'm that's cool. That makes more sense than anything because that better.
But let me ask you this because I know this is technically for the match. So for this one, can we make an exception? Can we choose either who we think gonna win the match or who gonna win the title? Because technically, I can say I think Gacy gonna win the title, but he can win the match and not win the title. Like I still keep Gacy.
It's still just. We can, but it's essentially the same thing. Because if you're picking him to win, a win is a win. It doesn't matter if he wins by pinfall, he wins by disqualification. If he wins, he wins. Because I lost points because I picked other people to win, and then other people fucked around.
Nope. All right. No. You're right. No, we ain't gonna move the goalpost. We ain't gonna.
Right. But eventually, it searches out to be the same thing. Like if he wins by disqualification, because he somehow got Strong to get himself disqualified, he doesn't win a title, but he wins the match. You still pick up the points because he won the match.
That's true.
Point was we never made the points on the championship switch. So it's like, if you want to do that, we can. For this one, if you want to do that, we could do that. But it's like You want to take it that way, or you want it for the win-win? I
Yeah, let's do it
I
for
don't
the
want you to have no
win-win.
excuses when you lose and you bend the knee to the king. That's all I'm just saying, bro. So you whatever you want to do, we can do because it's the GOW, man. We want to have some fun with it. So we can have some fun with it, man. I ain't afraid of it.
Yeah, man. We keep it how it is. We can keep it how it
All
is.
right, I got you. All right. You got Gacy to win, regardless. I got Strong. I because I damn sure. Look, the whole point of it, like, I get why he's saying what he's saying, but it's like it's stupid because it doesn't make any sense, dude. The whole reason for the cruiserweight division is because they don't have a chance in the heavyweight division.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is not like. I like that he's trying to manipulate and he's really trying to work this, but it's like, okay, man, anybody with common sense, wrestling fan or not, casual, even a
Right.
casual fan be like, that I mean, at least like, not what if you think of boxing, okay, you don't have lightweights battling the heavyweights. All right,
Right.
guys got to move up and weight and shit to be able to battle these dudes. All right, so wrestling is essentially the same thing, man. All right, the cruiserweights were never good enough to get title opportunities, so they had their own championship because they were always certain weights, but they were always the most exciting, which I always appreciated from WCW because that's what really put it on the map, mainstream US wise. Uh,
Right.
because you saw a lot of great wrestlers, and to have something important on the line in certain matches made it more intriguing. That's what the cruiserweight division is. So his whole fat shaming, it's it's hard for me to accept it because I know damn well it's none of what he's saying. Like, it just makes me saying less and less because, dude, that's not the purpose. These cruiserweights, they barely got an opportunity to beat the heavyweights, let alone win. No, man,
But
it's
but
stupid.
but but you know what it is? You know what it is, and I kind of like what he's doing. He's kind of take a realistic, real world, modern day approach on cancel culture. He's one of the
Right.
he's one of those people where it's like you take a situation and you know it's completely not what you're trying to make it out to be, but you the situation is such where if you twist it just a little bit, even though people know you're full of shit, it's one of those things where, like, the major companies like, God damn it, we're in the corner. Like, we could argue this, but there's always that one. So
And he did, and he is
yeah,
doing that perfectly.
yeah.
What's making it hard for me to just really take it in is because I know it makes no sense. It
It's
makes
like,
no sense whatsoever, dude. Actually, there's such an argument against it that it's like he's so I want them to do something better with it. Like, if
yeah,
anything, this would be a reason for him to cahoots himself into trying to get a championship against Ciampa. Not using fat shaming, but use a storyline to where he's trying to get that championship or the North American or the tag team division, but the
you know
cruiserweight.
what I'm saying? But you just made a point. You really just made a point because you said what he says, hold no weight. Because Tommaso Ciampa is skinny as shit, and he's got the biggest title you can hold, which is the NXT championship. Now, granted, Ciampa's ripped as all hell, but Ciampa's not a big dude at all. Matter of fact, shit, he probably about maybe less than half the size of Joe Gacy. So you can't sit there saying, "Oh, well, you're fat shaming," but little people have an opportunity. You got an
They have an
opportunity too.
opportunity, but that's NXT. Like, okay, but that's NXT. As a
Yeah,
whole, let's think about it. When you think
yeah.
about NXT's champions, um, Finn Balor, Adam Cole, Ciampa, Gargano,
Yeah.
who am I missing? There's another one. Bobby Roode. All of
Mhm.
them are technically damn near almost cruiserweight level. They're a little bit bigger than most cruiserweights, but they're still small guys. So
Right,
they
right.
have an opportunity because they're built for that division to fight. But where you have a lot of cruiserweights who are more finesse and don't really have those power shots or power moves. Like a Roddy Strong, he's small, but the dude can hit hard. So can Ciampa. So can Pete Dunne. Like a lot of these dudes, and they can smash mouth a big, a heavyweight, a Samoa Joe or somebody like that. So you have certain guys that can bang, but for those that can't, but we got to think about it. We never got to see this flux of small guys be champion. That's also another thing. We've always seen the bigger guys always be champion, which is why they had to make a cruiserweight division, because they really weren't trying to push the little guys in the big guys title picture. So it's like, all right, y'all got to have something. Just like there needs to be a mid card title, like there needs to be a women's championship. Man, you got to give something to the smaller guys that we know will never. At best, a Rey Mysterio before he really became world champion, and honestly, I don't know if it would have happened if because of Eddie's death or not, but like this dude won every title under the sun except for a world championship until it got to that moment. And I don't, I'm not gonna say okay, I'm not gonna say Vince and them. Well, they did, but at the same time they capitalized. But I don't think it was. I don't know if it was in the cards for Ray to get it that moment in time.
Yeah, you see, I've always kind of felt funny about that one because of the timing of it, and he didn't hold the title long at all. Like it's like Vince, like, all right, we're
No,
gonna
he
put
was
it
about
on you.
3-4 months. Yeah,
It's like Vince said, all right, we're gonna put it on you, just kind of put it on you because we can't just take it right off of you. I mean, Eddie did just die, so we're gonna kind of ride that wave a little bit, and then it's like boom, all right, got it up both of them.
and the sad part about that was Ray was your most popular guy. He
By
was the
far,
one selling every. Dude, you look in the crowd, everybody's got a Rey Mysterio mask
got a
on.
Rey Mysterio,
Everybody. So it's like it was a great idea. And if it was from the jump, we're gonna put Ray in the Royal Rumble, and eventually him and Eddie would have a match over the title. Okay, maybe it was still in the card, but unfortunately Eddie just wasn't there, so it was more focused on him just doing it for Eddie to do something no one ever thought he could do, which he won the Royal Rumble, and then he went on to win the World Championship at WrestleMania. Awesome. So I'm not going to discredit that because I marked out and loved every minute of it.
Oh yeah, of
and
course,
definitely
of course.
felt something for, especially because we just lost Latino heat. We just lost Latino heat, man. That hit a lot of people. So but back to the main story we were talking about, because we're gonna get this thing done. No way. It's just Gacy is good at selling it. It's just listening to him try to get the point across just doesn't work because it's just. But he's getting across with some people because I'm pretty sure there's some people. Hey, he is right. They are fat shaming.
I guarantee you, the Gacy clan on Twitter is going bonkers right now.
Man, the Karen clan on Twitter is going bonkers. Man, I told you the casual fan that is easily manipulated like that. They're thinking of it like that. They might not even like Gacy, but they might agree with what he's saying.
All right, well, like you said, man, we're gonna get through this because we only got a little bit left. We got that boy, man, the Street Fighter from the island, Solo Sikoa versus Idris. In no face, Sikoa ended up picking up the victory. We will then get a segment with Hartwell and Parada against Dexter Loomis escaped the hospital. We get another segment with Electra Lopez and Zion Quinn. Then we get a tag match, Hartwell and Parada versus some bums. Don't know their names, so I'll put them down as bums. In parentheses, bums. Hartwell and Parada ended up picking up the victory. And then we get our final match of the night. We get a men's takeover. Excuse me, damn, it ain't takeover no more. Wow. We get a men's war games elimination ladder advantage match in which that boy, the big bad booty nephew, Brian Breaker, ended up picking up the victory over the heart and soul of NXT, Mr. Johnny Gargano. Tuco, that boy Brian Breaker, he beat Cleveland's own. Hey, man, so look, his team got the men's war game advantage. So my question to you would be, I want to ask you, what did you think of the match? 1 and 2 to round off our picks for the night for NXT for War Games. Which team, my brother?
Man, did you forget a match?
Did I forget a match? Let me see. We got Gargano and we got Gargano's team and Let's see. Hold on. Did I miss a
That
match?
was
No,
six
I
matches.
did. No, we did the tag match of the men's. We got the women's war games match. We got Joe Gacy versus what you call it for the cruiserweight championship. We got Imperium
Oh,
versus.
we didn't pick. Oh no, wait a minute. No, yeah, we did. No, I picked Strong. You got Gacy. I got Vine. You got Imperium. Grimes, Hudson. The women's match. I feel like it was one match. I thought we just said it was like 6 matches.
How many we got? 5.
We got 4.
We got 4.
We do the men's. That's fine. I could have sworn I thought we just said we had 6 before.
I,
I don't know. I might be off. I
it's
could have.
crazy. I thought we had 6 too, but I'm recounting on the website here. It's 5. We got 2 War
Okay.
Games matches, and then we got the
The
Gargan.
three
Oh,
middlemen.
we had 2 War Games matches. We got the cruiserweight. We got the Duke Hudson, and then we got the tag team.
Okay, so that's it. That's it. Okay. All right. I'm tripping. All right.
No,
Men's war game. What's
yeah.
up?
So we got Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Pete Dunne, and L.A. Knight versus Carmelo Hayes, Grayson Waller, Tony D'Angelo, and Braun Breaker. I'm not gonna lie, I'm stuck on this one. I'm stuck.
Logic is telling me New School is winning.
Yeah.
Telling the New School is winning. Because out of this group, somebody's beating Ciampa for the championship, and I have a
Oh,
feeling
of
it's going to
course.
be Big Bad Booty Nephew.
My man, CC, this is why we hosted. This is why we do the show together. Because I sit in my head, I played this out. I'm like, dude, I'm looking at it right now. Braun Breaker is the only person that makes sense to pick up the victory in this match. I mean, you could have Carmelo Hayes and pin Johnny Gargano, Gargano pin Hayes, but we already we don't need to see that no more. But Braun
And
Breaker
Hayes has
versus
got the
Ciampa,
championship, but I mean they even if Breaker don't even get the pin, if they win, I could see it still.
yeah.
But out of this group of young people though, who will really make a difference outside of Carmelo, it probably would be more likely be Breaker.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure they want to take that title off Ciampa, but man, they're just doing my boy Pete Dunne so wrong, man. They're just doing my boy wrong.
All right, so I guess are we going team Big Bad Booty Nephew? Is that what we rocking with, man? Because you know what? I go out on a limb, man. I jump off first. I can't swim. It's okay. I don't mind drowning. Hey, I go with the new school on this one.
You got New School?
I got new school.
Man, I'm old school, man. I'll take old school.
Yeah, cause like I say, man, and now that I look at it, I mean, you got Braun Breaker. They're obviously, just grooming him to be the next up in line. You got Tony D'Angelo, who is insanely over. You got Carmelo Hayes, who is the A champion. When he shoot, he don't miss. They pushing his black ass to the moon. I mean, the only question mark to me is Grayson Waller, and I don't really give a shit what he got to do. LA Knight, not really sure where they got him at on the card. When they
They
first
needed a
brought him
fourth. They
over,
needed a fourth. They needed somebody. They needed a fourth. Each team, you think about it, everyone else has kind of got something. Well, not really, because Carmelo Hayes is in it with Gargano and Pete Dunne, but they kind of needed to add, and then Ciampa's
LA
going in
Knight.
with Ron, so they kind of needed to add D'Angelo because he's new school, but like you say, he's over. People kind of like him. He's over, but they needed him just to make a fourth. They actually needed him and Waller, but you think about it, they could have went with a boy who came out to fight Escobar earlier.
Zion, no, not
Fine.
Zion.
You could have added him to the thing if you really wanted to, but I guess they want to make it short man versus short man. You have a big tall dude, you would have had to get Von Ragnar to be in it or something. But maybe that's what they would have did. If they would have put him, maybe they would have no, ain't nobody because Wagner would have went with the new school. Yeah, man, I don't know. And maybe it's just best what they did. Maybe it's just best what they picked. They picked the 4 hottest new school guys that they got, and they picked the only 4 veterans that really matter in NXT as far as the singles competition really concerned about. Damn. Well,
Yeah, man.
they picked 3 of them. The other one, he hasn't really done much yet, other than be $1 million champion. But I don't think that's going to matter anymore in this new NXT.
Too cold. Are you ready, man? This is the last pay-per-view of 2021, the next major card of any type of
Day
importance.
one.
Day one, WWE day one on that day one ish, and I believe that's on a Saturday, correct?
It's on a Saturday, January 1st. It's gonna be on New Year's
So,
Day.
so
This is gonna be one of
WWE,
the first
man,
of their Saturday. This is gonna be WWE's new Saturday pay-per-views that they're gonna do now.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
Which,
my god,
which you know
I would love
what?
to talk about
I'm
having
not
right.
gonna lie, even though they're chicken choking AEW right now.
Man, we're
I'm
gonna
actually
tomorrow. We not to cut you off. Tomorrow for
yeah.
AEW, we are going to talk about the bullshit Raw did. And oh my god, we're gonna talk about that shit. Oh, we're gonna talk about that
Hey,
shit.
hey! Are you talking about the rated R superstar trying to
I'm
pull
talking
an
about
MJF
him. I'm talking
moment?
about Liv Morgan. I'm talking about both set. I'm talking about both of them and just what they say. Oh man, we got something to talk about,
Hey,
man. I
hey,
know
hey,
Raw.
hey,
We ain't talking about
hey,
Raw. We're
hey!
just talking about the
But Vince,
bullshit of why it relates to
but
AEW.
Vince doesn't watch AEW. WWE doesn't pay attention to AEW. They're the minor leagues. They're a pissant company. They need more talent. We could give them more talent. We don't consider these guys a threat. They're not the threat that WCW was. And then here we go. A few days
They're
later,
not. That's the thing. They're not. They're really not the threat WCW was.
they're not. But you're acknowledging them. And that's all you can ask for as a startup company. Because the fact that you went out of your way to use your Hall of Famer Edge to even shed light on that situation. And then
Man, I can't wait tomorrow. Oh, I can't
yeah,
wait
yeah.
tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, you know what?
I can't wait tomorrow.
Let me stop. Because I'm getting all riled up, and we got a whole
Hey, you
two
got me
calls to
right, bro.
do.
Trust me, bro. Yeah, tomorrow it's gonna be a nice show tomorrow, boy.
Hey man, I feel like bringing out the pistols, man. I'm about to have the locks retwisted. I think you know what I'm saying. We about to go straight gangster, and we're going to shoot from the
Ooh.
hip. So King Tuco, man, you make sure you bring out the King Hooded Knight.
The hooded night is coming, baby. Oh, it's time to go to war, man. The king gotta take off the crown and go put on the hooded night. Yeah, man. Tomorrow
Yes,
we
sir.
shoot from
Yes,
the
sir.
man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're gonna have to thug it and rugged, man. We're gonna have to thug it and rugged. It's gotta go down. But that's enough said. We spent way too much time on this NXT. It wasn't that worthy.
It was
We
not.
yes, just to make it some time for just to be honest. We kind of did, but nah, man. Look, War Games. The show was what it was. A couple of good matches, not bad. Um, War Games looks interesting. A lot of
It
new
does.
faces. It's not a takeover. It's just a pay per view. Um, so it, I feel the structure will still be the same. It will just be some of the results of what people do.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is we all know how war games and stuff used to end and how it used to go. Now under the new regime of Vince and Bruce Pritchard, we don't know what wacky kind of shit we may see in this shit. So
Who
just be
knows, man?
prepared, man.
You might see Doink the Clown. You might see the Boogeyman. You may even see a green little bastard. But too cold, man. It's an honor and a privilege, man, doing this show with you. I can't wait, man, because I forgot all about what happened on Monday Night Raw. So now
Oh,
I'm
I
ready
did.
to go to
Oh, I
and now
did. Oh,
I'm ready to go to sleep.
no,
And I'm
sir.
ready to wake up. And I'm
I
ready to
got
do
your
this
back, bro,
AEW.
because I knew once I heard that, especially that Liv Morgan said, "Oh my God, there's so much I got to say to that." Like it's like, and people were eating it up. Well, not a whole lot of people. A lot of people was actually not as excited as
Shitting
I
on
thought
it.
they were.
Yeah.
But man, oh my God, no, I wasn't gonna let you ride to that, brother, because we got to talk about AEW. We damn sure got to talk about what happened last week, so we got to talk about what they're gonna do tomorrow, and we damn sure got to talk about what Raw did, because yeah, Edge put the icing on the cake, but yeah, everything else was layered by the rest of the bullshit.
But hey, really quick, Monday Night Raw again. I still got about maybe an hour left to watch. Damn, but Monday Night Raw was not bad. It wasn't bad.
I'm not watching it. Couple of matches, but it's not. I can't, man. It's not. I can't. Like
It's the 3 hours. It's the
it's the
3 hours.
3 hours. I'm gonna even lie, man. I didn't even care for the damn Raw Randy Orton versus Dirty Dogs match. Like Did not care for it at all. Like just like okay, so what? Like how the hell they get a title? Like wait a minute, Riddle beat them last week. How the hell they get a title shot? Like why are they?
Bro, you know, WWE don't go by wins and losses. They kind of just whatever.
Man, but
It's whatever they feel like booking that day, bro. You know this.
that was
How many times?
so.
How many times has John Cena come back out of nowhere? This motherfucker ain't had a single match in 10 months, and he come back. He just automatically shotguns to the front of the line. What about that number one contender you was building up for the last 3.5 months that just went bye bye because John Cena came back from injury 2 months early?
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, that
All right,
shit.
hey, speaking of tomorrow, we about to get out of here, but Big Swole and AEW mutually party ways today. So that brings up another topic because the AEW online fan base has kind of been wondering, Tony Khan, what's up with the black wrestlers? But we get to that. We're going to talk about that too. I want to pick Too Cold Brain a little bit. But hey, we're going to let AEW be AEW. Tonight is NXT. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of Generational Wrestling Podcast. I'm the 28-year-old piece of gold. He's King Too Cold. And guess what, man? We'll be right back doing this thing again tomorrow. Until then, we'll see you when we see you. Peace.